Welcome to another video. My name is Sander and today we are at Chutes Provincial Park. Stick around till the end as I'll show you what there is to do here at the park and certainly all the beautiful waterfalls right behind me. So without further ado, let's go. Chutes Provincial Park is located just off Highway 17 in the town called Massey and is about a 5-hour drive from Toronto. What's unique about this park is the actual location. Most provincial parks are away from residential areas. Chutes is different in that way, in the sense that there's the entrance and there's residential houses right next to the park. You're immediately in the town of Massey. Now the nice thing about this is right next door they sell firewood. We burned it yesterday. It was mostly softwood, but it was definitely dry and you get quite a bit for $10. Definitely better than park wood, so if you are here, I would suggest getting firewood here. The other thing is, even though there's no playground in the park, there's a playground right there for the kiddos, and there's a convenience store right there within a couple minutes walking distance of the park for your basic supplies and ice cream. So this is the convenience store and some groceries. You can buy your ice cream here, and this is literally within a very short walk from the park. This is the playground just outside of the park. It's a pretty big playground, and our little one had lots and lots of fun here. This is the registration. They do have a small store for your merchandise, your stickers, badges, and some basic supplies. This is the trailer sanitation station. There is just a loop, only one lane. So again, if you're waiting to get water and somebody's dumping, you have to wait. It's just one dump spot and it's not a threaded hose. It's just a hose. So if you want to do a black tank flush, you're probably out of luck. This is potable water fill. There is again only one lane as well. It is a threaded hose, so if you have a water filter, you can certainly use it here. One thing to note about the park is this sign right here. This is the most important sign because normally at provincial parks, there's always signs showing, go this way for site number 1272. Here that's not the case, you only have road names. So if you drive by this sign and you don't pay attention to it, you're probably going to get lost, as many people do here. So this is what you see throughout the park. Just the street names, no numbers or anything. So you need to know the street you're on and not your campsite number. Well, you need that as well, but first you need the street name. A couple things to note about the park. First of all, cell phone service. Cell phone service is decent. With Kudo and therefore Bell, Telus, I get LTE here. It is a little bit spotty in some spots. So if you want to check your email occasionally, Facebook, things like that, it's perfectly fine. If you want to do some Zoom calls from the campsite, probably not the best park for you. When it comes to bringing your kayaks, canoes or stand-up paddleboards, there's only a little place to kayak. Now it is right by the waterfalls, so don't get me wrong, very stunning, but it's very little. So if you're debating when you go here to bring your kayak, canoe or stand-up paddleboard, I personally wouldn't, but again, it would be a very nice but short paddle by the waterfall. What I do recommend is if you have any tubes, bring them. Now, unfortunately, our tubes got destroyed at Samuel de Champlain. Video here. You can go tubing by the waterfall. Now, it's a very short river drive, but you know what? It does look a lot of fun, so if you have tubes, bring them. The garbage and recycling is right located near the entrance. This is the comfort station with showers. This is our site, 72. Now it's an absolutely massive site. Lots and lots of room. The only issue, and you'll see that in a second here, is that the trailer is parked oddly. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of room here. And the main reason is this tree right here. I can't get the truck to go there to level it out. And here the tree is in the way as well. So it's parked a little bit odd, but it's still an absolutely massive site. By the beach there's a nice large picnic shelter. And some fall toilets. This is definitely a pro. There's a dog off-leash play area. It's completely fenced in. So if you have your four-legged friends with you and you want them to run around, this is the place to do it. Not a lot of other provincial parks have this. When you enter the beach area, the dog beach is to your right, and the main beach with, of course, the waterfall is to the left. This is the beach at Chutes, right by the waterfall. So it's pretty small, and again, this is also the spot where you would have to. This is the spot where you can kayak, canoe, or stand-up paddleboard as well. But as you can see, it's a very small lake, and unless you follow the river and turn into white water rafting or canoeing, this is pretty much the spot where to canoe. But it's very nice to swim right by the waterfall.
The next day.
So right behind me is the waterfall. You can swim here on the beach. And that's what I did. Google swim there. In parts it's pretty shallow as well.
One pair of pants later.
This is the one trail in the park, Twin Bridges Trail. You can do it either in its entirety, and it's about 6.5 kilometers, or you can just do parts. Apparently between here, which is where we are now, and here's the prettiest part, so we'll see how far we go. But come with us. When you don't follow the trail and go to the lookout, you can learn about the history. And you can see that there used to be a log chute, which is, you know, why the park is named Chutes. Gives you about the park, the history, and the railway. So last but not least, you have to look out here, the waterfall. So the trail starts at the steps. Apparently it's 45 steps up, but they're easy. Correction, it's 46 steps, not 45. Sites in general here are spacious and pretty private as well. So after the steps and walking a little bit through the campground, we're back on the trail again. And again, another information sign about the trail itself and the signage. There's some lookouts on the trail. The first section of the hike is pretty easy. There are some tree routes, but you can probably do this with a wagon or a stroller. So this is the group site, which is oddly right next to the trail. So very interesting location for a group camping site. There are some warnings here. So this section of the trail is definitely a bit more rocky. So until the second lookout, it's easy to do by stroller. Now it becomes a little bit more challenging. So apparently these bridges are all made here in the winter on site, and they don't have to be painted due to the material chosen to build them, which is pretty cool. After you go over the bridges, the trail is definitely no longer stroller and wagon accessible.
Eventually.
So let's talk about this park. Chutes is a very nice smaller park. You definitely need to know the street name that you're on in addition to your campsite number. Otherwise, you may get lost, as I've seen many people around me getting lost. The other thing is, there's one hike, but it's a beautiful hike and 100% recommended, or at least go to the different viewpoints rather than doing the whole forested piece. The benefit is so close to town, you can get firewood, dry firewood, and quite a bit just outside of the gate, rather than, you know, burning, soaking wet, lake stored park wood. There's a convenience store very nearby, even though there's no playground. The town playground is literally a minute away from the park, so that's certainly an option as well. When it comes to your bikes, it's a very small park. I use mine mainly for filming, but that's about it. Other than that, you can perfectly explore it by foot. But if you have a bike, you know, sure, bring it. When it comes to your canoe, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards, behind me is the only spot where you can really do kayak or canoe or stand-up paddleboard. It's very small. Again, it is right by a waterfall, so that's pretty cool. but very small. So it's totally up to you if you bring them. We didn't bring them for this reason. So overall, the comfort station is nice, it's clean, the facilities are good. So I think Chutes is a perfect park for a stopover. So if you're heading up north, Lake Superior, or further for that matter, going to Chutes kind of cuts that drive up. I don't think this is a park, or at least for me. Everybody else, of course, has their own preference, where I would say a week, but a couple days as a stopover. You know what? You have the beautiful view, you have the beautiful trails, you have all your facilities that you need nearby. So Chutes is actually perfect for that. From a cell phone service perspective, do have LTE with Kudo, Telus, and Bell here. Again, probably not strong enough for video calls, but good enough for email checking, Facebook, you know, all that kind of stuff. So overall, Chutes, definitely a very nice park. And if you got a lot of value out of this video, smash that like button. It really helps to push this video out to a larger audience. And in addition to that, subscribe. It's absolutely free. And that way you get notified of our upcoming adventures. And there's so much more to come, including a new concept later this year that you don't want to miss. So in addition to all of this, if you're looking for other great parks like Chutes, why don't you check out this video right here, where we summarize the top 10 best provincial parks that we visited last season.